everybody, welcome back to my channel, La Casa de Natasha. I got a few requests on my Instagram. I showed a story on how I made this little book for my Happy Planner stamps. And I wanted to share how I do it because I'm actually going to make one for my planner bestie. She's currently keeping her stamps in a pen pouch, so I wanted to make something for her that's a little bit easier for her to go through, and thought that I would share it. So let's get into it. Originally when I had made it, I basically took a blank, let me move this, I took a blank laminating sheet and I ran it through my laminator. I happy punched it with my Happy Planner punch. And I sized it to these dashboards. Now what I did was I cut out some colored cardstock to put behind each one so I could see the stamps better, but the one that I'm making for my bestie, I'm actually going to put the cardstock inside the laminated paper. So this is just going to be a quick little video. I'll show you guys how I do it. Essentially, so this is my original book. So I'm going to take this laminating sheet and first off, I'm going to size this to this piece of cardstock. So let's see here. Just take a pen. I'm just kind of going to, here we go. And I'm just going to kind of mark where it's at so I know. Okay, it's a little messy, but it's okay because this is on the blank side. So I'm going to cut this guy. And like I said before, I'll probably, because when I made mine, I didn't think to cut out cardstock and laminate it in the actual laminating sheet. So that's what I'm going to do this time. So that way you just don't have like a bunch of sheets. So I'm going to take my laminating sheet. I'm going to open it up. Put this sucker in there. Sorry, my daughter is in the office with me while I'm filming, so you might hear her. Okay, so now I'm going to laminate this. Is I'm going to take this guy, and I love this much better. I'll probably redo my whole stamp book with the color, the cardstock inside, because I like this a little, it's just a little easier so you don't have a bunch of sheets in your book. So cut the extra pieces off. And it's super simple, especially if you have a laminator. If you don't have a laminator, I think you can, I almost considered using like just plastic, like a gallon Ziploc and splitting it in half. But I don't know how well the stamps would stick to it. So I definitely recommend getting the laminator because if you're a planner girl, it's the best thing ever. But there's definitely, I'm sure there's a way you could do it without it. Okay. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to hole punch it. Okay. Now sometimes it's a little hard to hole punch with this, which is totally okay because even if you don't have a Happy Planner punch, take a regular hole punch. And you can just size it and make little dots and then hole punch with your hole puncher. Sometimes what I do is I'll like line it up, like so. And then I'll just take like a permanent marker or a pen and I'll make like a little dot. Because the other thing is too that it just depends how thick this is. So your Happy Punch may not want to go through all the way. And that's okay. Because you can always use a regular hole punch too. This is what I used for a bit before I actually got my Happy Punch. Okay. Then you're just going to make sure you do your little slits. Boop, 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 boop. All the slits are there. Perfect. Okay. So like I said, this is just kind of like a little example I'm doing for you guys. So this is the book. Here's a cover of my book. Sometimes I don't keep a cover on it because I just like to see them, but you could definitely add one of the dashboards and make it a little book and just put like a little label on it. So what you would do is you would take your little sheet that you made and you're going to take your stamps, and when you peel back your stamps, this plastic part comes right off. So usually all the stamps will stay on the front part of the plastic. See that? And then you just have like an extra sheet. And I like to keep these too for stamp storage and stuff. And you can probably also like maybe hole punch it and add it to your book too. If you don't have laminating sheets, that would also be an option. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to stick it right on top, just like that. And then place it in my book. And there you go. Super easy. It's really nice to be able to just flip through them. And like I said before, I didn't think to put the cardstock in the laminating part, in the laminating sheet. So that's definitely something I would do, or I'm going to do now, at least for my planner bestie, so she can see the stamps. And when you use the stamps, it literally just peels right off the same way as it would on this little sheet, on this little plastic sheet. So there you have it. Super easy little tutorial of how I made my stamp storage book. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.